Welcome everyone to another episode of the Cardcast. I'm your host Brandon alongside Matt,
Hey, what's up, guys?
and today we are talking about Lorcana. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to say at the end, but right now we are covering one of my most anticipated projects. I've looked forward to this thing for a long time. Matt knows how passionate I am about this, and today we're going to just kind of dive in, do a little summary about the game, kind of let you guys know what we've been hearing and kind of our thoughts, and then we're going to go from there. You ready for this, Matt?
Oh, I was born ready.
Let's get it. So, basically, if you do not know what Lorcana is, it basically is a tabletop game. This is the publisher is by Ravensburger, and this is the same people who kind of brought you the villainous games, like I don't know if you know the villains from all the Disney characters and everything. They also brought you Dingbats, Escape, Labyrinth, El Dorado, all that good stuff. So they know how to produce games. They know how to make good quality things, but it's the storyline that kind of everybody was like, hey, what is it going to be about? What are you? How do you incorporate yourself into this game? So basically, the elements of the story is there's lore fragments, and they're combined with pages of magical lore books to create glimmers. These are recreations of characters, items, and worlds from across the Disney universe. So you get like this armed wand type deal. It's called an ink caster, and this thing kind of helps you protect the realm of Lorcana and search for missing lore, which I think is a very cool idea. I think it is very unique, and it's fun. I think it's going to be very engaging.
Right, and I like kind of how they, not to say they took it from Magic the Gathering, but with planeswalkers or you're a planeswalker yourself, even though you can summon planeswalkers, which I thought was a weird concept. But I like that you're like known as an ink caster, so there is an element to you being immersed into the universe when you're playing the card game, if you would. So that's always a good
100,
start.
dude, absolutely agree. And they haven't really fully revealed how the story will be told in full. But although basically the narrative director, her name's Samantha McFerrin, she did say that it'll be through a combination of cards, social media, and other materials. Okay, so it's not going to just be told and explained through just one piece, one product, which again is very cool. It's going to be through a multitude of things. Kind
Which
of,
which
in
makes
my opinion.
sense, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
it's Disney, they have the means, they have the art studios, they have the ability to create lore to go right with it that you'll see on, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this on Disney Plus. It's trying to trace anything about that before.
Well, Lorcana, I think definitely could get a show or something like that here soon. I mean, just look at Star Wars. I was going to bring that up. They're already doing this, giving you different shows, different products, different things that kind of incorporate into one lore with the games and everything. So I think that's what they're going to be doing with this trading card game. And it does say that the first story arc will begin with the first chapter, and that's what it's called. And this is going to continue across the first year of the game. So we will likely hear more about this story as the first chapter is revealed. But dude, that's kind of crazy. That means this first chapter will literally be an entire year.
Yeah, which I like, honestly. It's a cool concept.
Well, and then it gives you something to it gives you something to
Excuse me.
savor. You know what I mean? It's so good. But every card in Lorcana is separated into 6 colors, or they're known as inks. Okay, which is very very cool.
Right.
This is similar to Magic the Gathering's color system, like you were mentioning, and this article mentions like Pokemon types. But each ink is having its own play style. And Ravensburger did mention that they've kind of given hints about how these inks will play.
Mm-hmm.
But still, a lot is to be revealed. But we do have a little bit of info. So the inks are amber, which is the yellow, and it appears that that's going to combine protective elements such as healing, damage, and what have you. And these elements are about having multiple glimmers in at play, all at once. Which is cool. So fast action, lots on the field. I dig that. And then you got steel, which is kind of their gray. And this ink will focus on brute force, which I think you see a lot of red be that in a lot of colors. So that's really cool that steel or their gray is going to be more of like a brute force tank kind of deal. And
It
that's like
appears it seems comparable to their version of white. It's like gray and yellow you don't normally see. So red, blue, green. I guess purple's even different too, unless you're talking about bandai cards, so that's pretty neat to see.
yeah,
Or even
amethyst, dude. That's
Yu-Gi-Oh.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think they had to pick a different name or a different, I don't
and
know, a
and
different shade.
right, and I think it's easy for people that I think at first glance will be like, oh, that's really not that original. I mean, it isn't, but it still is different. I mean,
I mean, you're running out of room, so you can only pick from so many things.
right, and it has more of an elegance to it, which I think, even once we get into prices in a little bit, talking about that, it does seem like this is gonna be a little bit more of a premium card game, as easy as like it is to say. I think people are gonna think this is gonna be everywhere, but I don't foresee that, at least in the beginning, you know.
Yeah, trust me, guys. We're going to get into that here in just a second. And this kind of goes to the next tab that's going down is kind of like when does Disney Lorcana even launch? Basically, it says Disney Lorcana has starter decks, Illuminators Troves, and gift sets, and those will be launching in stages. The first release is going to be at local game stores in the United States only. August 18th, 2023 is the projected date.
Can I cut you off and say something that I know is really interesting about that?
Do it. Do it,
What's
dude.
what's not on that list of items that I just realized that I think is baffling?
Oh, booster boxes.
Exactly. So I'm wondering.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Dude,
crazy.
that's crazy. That is crazy, Jinx. Dude, that's awesome, dude. I mean, look, Illuminators, we're going to get into these products here in just a second, guys, but booster box is what everybody looks for when you're going to want to rip, crack, or, of course, resell. Illuminator Troves, gift sets, and starter decks are what we call specialty products. So a lot of people do like those fine booster boxes, and I can understand why.
I mean, the
But what
closest
I,
thing you're gonna get at this point is the Trove, right? So keep in mind the
correct.
Illuminators Trove are comparable to your Fat Pack or Elite Trainer bots if you're a Pokemon person. So
Correct, correct. And so, what I like a lot is that we are an American company, so they are releasing in America first. They did leave United Kingdom and Canada out of it, and they are actually getting the release date of September 1st for the international release date, which is Germany, France, like I said, United Kingdom and Canada. And then
oh, that's
those cards are available.
interesting. The cards are gonna be
Yeah.
available in English, French, and German, like different
Yes,
languages. So
correct.
really going
Yes,
all
which
out.
is awesome, dude. Hey, why not though, man? It
Right.
is so popular in Europe. It really is. And then of course Canada is right there. And I actually thought it was going to be at least Canada and United States at the first drop, or United Kingdom, Canada and United States in the first drop. But they said no. They said August is only going to be. Which, granted, guys, look, it's August 18th, and then it drops September 1st. So it's not even a whole month that these international countries have to wait for the
Right.
drop. It's just going to be a few weeks. That's it. And who knows, which we'll get into that soon, who's even going to be able
Well,
to
and
get
if it's like
these.
anything, if it's like anything else, you know what I mean? Stuff will get out early. That's just the prevalent thing.
Oh,
It's
leaks and just
inevitable.
products,
Well, I'm
everything.
just saying, yeah,
Yes.
people are getting product early, especially LGS owners. I mean, even though it's August 18th for them, I wouldn't be surprised if LGS owners in all of these nations are going to be ripping cases. I mean, I worry products like this are going to be hoarded so much, even at the game store and distro level, that it's going to force people's hands to just rip their product and sell singles. Because you've already seen it in some places with stuff like One Piece, even with the second set, just the hype of the first set. Some I've heard of some places even in the States where LGS owners cut all um, pre-orders, and it wasn't mine because they're awesome, but some of them cut pre-orders, ripped the whole case, and then sold everything to singles, when they were still the high premium
Yeah.
price.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, this is a base set that's coming out, so it's gonna be insane. And for those of you who are like, well, is there gonna be gameplay? Is there gonna be actual like rules? Well, it does say that a full gameplay reveal for Lorcana is planned for spring 2023, which is right now. And finally, lifting the lid on what all the mechanics, inks, and characters mean for the game itself. Um, which we're going to still roll through this article here, but it's kind of like the product breakdown is next, and that's what I love the most. I do love the gameplay. I think that's going to be very interesting, but I am all about packaging product and everything else, so this excites me, right? You got a surprisingly large launch lineup, which I agree with what this article just said, and you have more than just booster packs and more than just booster boxes that are going to be launching right off the bat. So you got booster packs will be primarily the way of collecting Lorcana in general, with each pack containing 12 cards. Each pack will include 9 regular cards, 1 foil of any rarity, and 2 guaranteed cards of a rare, super rare, or legendary rarity. These will be available both as individual packs and in a 24 pack booster box, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about not a 32, we're talking a 24.
Right, which is very interesting when you look at the prices of the boxes, because those are some expensive booster packs. You're talking about based on prices I've seen in like on TCG Play right now, they're insane. They're already over $200 a box. You're talking about like more than $7 a pack. ridiculous.
Yeah, no, dude. Trust me, that's a whole nother beast. But I
Yeah.
agree with you.
But we'll keep away from the market right now. It's all speculation and just
No,
what
for
people are
sure.
willing to pay. I like to really
No, it's
dive
interesting.
into how
It's
neat
interesting.
the game is. It really is, and the product lineup is really good looking. As far as the starter, that's even really
Yeah,
cool
exactly.
combinations, and it shows that they're really trying to dive into it being well, it's all within the Disney universe. You could argue it's all a multiverse, you know? I mean, you have the three starter decks from Moana to Mickey to Cruella de Vil and Aladdin to Aura and Simba. I mean, uh, very cool, you know?
And these colors that match with these characters, okay? Like I do think Cruella and Green match really well together. I think that's really cool. Sorcerer Mickey being that amethyst or the purple. These are really cool colors to match the characters of Lorcana. So that's something that I didn't know how they were going to do. I didn't know how these characters were going to come to life through their inks,
Right.
and it's really starting to look cool, man.
Well, and here's the cool thing too. It's all their own IP as far as like Disney. You know, obviously Ravensburger obviously got licensing and approval through Disney, but any character could be any color. I mean, it's like Digimon or One Piece, you know? You could have a Luffy like in the first set where Luffy's a red card, but in the second set he's a green card. It just whatever works, different mechanics, completely vastly different card and playability, you know? So we could see a Simba as a red card eventually or
Correct. Yes,
Moana
and
as a
which is going to
blue.
be cool.
Yeah.
Yes, which I would think would be very fitting, depending on the play styles, and also I think that is what's going to happen. However, I do think
Right.
that this is their first initial release, so hopefully this is what's known as their like base ink, which would be super cool. But we'll see how the community kind of grows on that. But it does give you a tracker token and a paper playmat with each one as well for the starter decks. Which of course a paper playmat we are all fully aware comes in almost every standard starter deck of any trading card game. But the tracker token, that's pretty interesting. We can kind of dive a little bit about that later. The next product, though, is what you kind of already mentioned earlier, Matt. It's the Illumineers Trove. This is Lorcana's version of a Pokemon Elite Trainer box, like you said. It contains 8 booster packs, 2 deck boxes featuring art from either Mickey, Maleficent, or Elsa. I mean, look, first of all, I'm sorry, but Frozen, Elsa, all these characters, those are not original characters. So we're about to see them say that these are original Disney characters. Uh, that's not how I feel. I know it is an original Disney character who was made up by Disney, but I'm talking
Right.
like if we're talking original, are we talking about like OG original, or are we talking about just original that's just made? Like, what do you mean that it's not made up by Disney? Like, are they talking about like the
Right.
story of Cinderella in general wasn't created by Disney? That's just their version of it. So, anyways, we'll dive into that in a bit. But I think that this Illumineers Trove is going to be one of my favorite products.
I
It
was
is
about to
very
say, I think it's going to be a very premium product, and I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a couple months post-release Eliminator's Trove selling for just about the same as Booster Bots, and especially because the FOMO of like Illuminator's Troves coming up before Booster Bots is probably means they're going to get ripped even more, because I know I'm going to be able to get my hands on at least one, and I was on the fence about ripping it, but I really do think it's going to be a scarce product, so it's kind of hard to
well.
want to
Look,
rip.
no. Here's my thing about this product. Right, we're normally seeing individual Elite Trainer boxes or maybe individual Illuminator Troves. It seems to me that this is a hey, this is sealed. You don't know if you get Mickey, Maleficent, or what. You know what I mean? Like you don't know. Oh, it's Aurora. Okay, now it's Aurora. Yeah, so Aurora, Mickey, or Maleficent. Like you don't know who you're gonna get, right? Or is it hey, no, you know who you get in each one. They have the similar front. Like I don't know how that's gonna be, and if it
No,
is,
That is Elsa. Aurora and Mickey Mouse are the deck boxes. That is
oh, got
Elsa,
you, got you, got
Mickey,
you,
and
got you, got you, got
Maleficent
you,
is
got you, got you.
Aurora from
That's what I
Sleeping
thought. Okay,
Beauty
cool.
is up there with Simba. Yeah.
Okay, that's
You're
what I.
right.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I was like, that doesn't look like
I was
her,
about
but if
to
that's what it
say, yeah.
says, yeah, I was like, that doesn't look like her, but if that's what it says. That's what it says. But no, I don't know if that's how it is. If that is, that's exciting. Because imagine evolving skies from Pokemon. Imagine if they
Right.
came out with all 4 of them on the front case, but you didn't know what deck box or playmat was going to come in it. It would just be either Flareon, Vaporeon, you know what I mean? That would be kind of cool, man. And
Well, it seems
what
like
my
you're gonna
point.
get both. I don't think it's like a randomized
Okay,
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. See, but that would be cool, man, because I don't like these redundant products. And what I mean by that is if I'm going to open up something, I don't want to keep having extra BS on the side that I already had or I need to flip to try to make money or just stashes in my closet. I'm going to then try to get one Illuminator's Trove or 2, one sealed, one open, and then I'm going to move on to different products like this gift set. And this gift set is a little redundant, but not as much, right? Because the only thing that's redundant about it is the 2 promos. So
It
you
is,
get
but
Hades.
the gift set could be a huge premium product depending on the playability of said Amber, now known as Amber Hades card, and the Ruby Mulan card. I mean, for me, what makes this a potential extremely expensive product is, hey, like on the secondary market, that is, how playable are these cards? Are they playable into the meta? Because I already have a feeling that they're going to try and jump right into doing bid tournaments, trying to organize regionals, like all of the stuff that people online are be complaining about that there's not product. Like we know that's going to happen, that there's not going to be product. But
Well, yeah, no.
but there isn't
Yeah.
people who are going to pay. It's going to be a lot of what, you know, because
Well,
I've
in this, no,
sorry.
I would pay a lot for this product. I would pay a lot for that. I mean, you get 2 oversized foil cards as well. You get you kind of do what Pokemon does, right? But they're giving you a foil Hades card. And by the way, this is Hades King of Olympus. Who knows if there's like a Hades something
Oh,
down the line? And
there will
so
be.
yeah, exactly. And Mulan maybe. I think that's so cool, man. I think it's going to be very different for me to see these characters on trading cards with this type of product, like with this type of trading card vibe.
Well, and
It's not
here's
just
something to
a
think about
weird
too
game.
about these cards, about why, if they are playable, they should really raise the premium. You only get 4 packs, you did 8 packs in the Eliminator's Trove, but
Yeah,
USD,
yeah.
the gift set is 30, the Trove is 50. So you're talking about like your packs are already more expensive coming out of this gift set just because you're
Yeah, but you
getting
say that, but
20s.
you're getting 2 jumbos and 2 smalls
Yeah,
plus
but
4
like me
packs.
personally, I could give, you know, a
It's not
rat's
about that. It's
a
not about
rat's
that though.
donkey
It's
about
about
jumbo
what.
cards.
Well, and it looks like 2 coins. But look, it's all about collectability, right? It's all about what the product is inside. I mean, the reason why you're paying $60 for the Illuminator's Trove or whatever you're paying, it's because you're
50.
it's 50.
Yeah.
It's 50 because you're getting a handbook, and you're getting basically a bunch of extras in there that, again, like the Elite Trainer boxes, I don't want all of the tokens. I don't want all the dice. I don't want a repeat of all of that stuff. At least for this
Right.
gift set, it is $20 cheaper. And yes, it's
Well,
four
I'm saying
packs less.
more packs out of the Trove is the
Correct.
bigger
And
thing to me.
I want to know what the hit ratios are. Are they better in a gift set, or are they better in Lumineer's Trove? They should be better in Lumineer's Trove because they cost more, but you're getting a really cool bundle. So we'll see, you guys. I mean, typically these 2 are going to be the most sought after things other than a booster box. And booster boxes only have 24 packs in them. And it says right here that the starter decks USD are $16.99. The booster packs are $5.99. The first chapter gift sets $29, and the first chapter is $49 is what he was reading off of. But Canada, man, it's just so crazy to me that Canada's like way more pricey for trading cards, dude. It's
Well,
just it always baffles me.
it's because the Canadian dollar is worth significantly less. So it
I know,
equals out
dude.
to USD, it matches.
I know, but I feel bad, dude. Especially like I don't know, people that have to ship, and I hear that people in Canada, it's especially when I was shipping like Pokemon cards and stuff like that to people, it was a nightmare, man. It was an absolute nightmare for customs and then cost wise and everything else. So
Let's
I hope everything goes well over there with product wise. Over here, we're already worried about that. So I mean, I'm hoping in Canada and Europe and stuff like that, it's not going to be as scarce. But this does say that it is going to have 4 expansions within the first chapter. So within the first year that we are going to experience Lorcana after the set releases is 4 expansions. It has not been revealed if these are only 4 releases in the year, but speculation that it will be. And so it says a second set may be coming November 17th in local game stores, and then December 1st at larger big boxes. Again, that's speculation. That's not 100%. But it says no details have been revealed about this second set so far. They're still, of course, wanting us to get used to the first chapter and everything else. So it's super exciting. It does say for the first set, Lorcana will be focusing on traditional Disney characters. So they didn't say original. That's my bad. It says traditional. So that to me, if you're talking about a traditional Disney character, that is Mickey, right? Yes, we have Mickey. That is Hercules and Hades. Like that is all of the. If you're talking up till maybe 2000, after 2000, 2005, they're not traditional anymore. I think it was like a new era of Disney. Like it was a new type of
It
characters,
is, but I
you
think they're
know?
just talking about as far as like while Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, all that stuff now falls under the Infinite umbrella and
So
hand
even if it's
of
modern, it's still traditional to them, I'm guessing is what they're
correct
saying.
because I guess it's like you should say canon. We maybe use the word canon, you know, because
I guess I can pass. I guess I can
because I
pass,
mean
man.
Moana. You keep hitting on Elsa, but think about Moana. You know, Moana.
No, no, you know what? I haven't even mentioned Moana. You're absolutely right. Moana is not to me a traditional Disney character, but I guess
But
traditional,
she
even if it
definitely
is modern.
the bot
I mean, she is. She is,
the
dude.
box office and
We'll say
Disney's
otherwise.
pockets would
Yes.
say otherwise, and same with
I
Elsa.
mean, yeah, I know. And Frozen is their all-time like mamma jamma, but I would say that is a modern original Disney character.
Right.
And not just a traditional original or just plain old original. Like if I'm thinking to myself, hey, name an original Disney character. Yeah, I guess kids today will definitely say Elsa. So you know what? That makes me old. That
Right.
makes me
Well,
old,
just
dude.
think about the same logic. Think about Pixar, like Toy Story, one of Disney's biggest things ever. Still Pixar. You could say that's a traditional slash original if you want to use that terminology. It's not even included in this.
Well,
So I
because
mean,
they were their own thing and they got bought by Disney.
true, but nonetheless,
So
it's
that's
under that
why.
umbrella. You know, it's still a Disney character. It's under
Oh,
the,
it is.
you
No,
know,
100%. You're absolutely correct. And I actually, Pixar is one of my favorite, I guess you could say, branches of
studios.
Disney.
Yeah.
The studio itself, fantastic. But like Disney as a whole, like I like Star Wars and I like Pixar a lot. Do I like Marvel? Of course, guys. But I do like Pixar, and I love their characters. But that says basically a few keywords have been revealed though for the play styles and the mechanics. And I'm going to go over just a few of them with you. It says challenge, which is Lorcana's version of combat. Challenger, which is an ability that modifies a character's stats whenever it challenges or it's being challenged. Evasive, which is only characters with evasive can challenge this character. I kind of posted that on our Instagram with Tigger, and I believe Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, he is an evasive character. And so, yes, only other evasive characters can challenge other ones, which is a very cool game mechanic, if you ask
Right.
me.
Yeah.
You have shift, which is by paying an alternate cost. So you got to give to get. You know what I mean? You can play characters on top of each other. Gnarly, dude. I think that
I
is
almost feel like
so
that's gonna
sick.
be like a Yu-Gi-Oh type mechanic, you know, like
Oh, a
whatever that
hundred
does. Yeah.
percent. Yeah, dude, it's really cool. I like evasive and I like shift. Those are already very, very interesting to me. You got exert, which appears to be like Magic the Gathering's tapping, where
Gotcha.
cards are rotated 90 degrees to show that they are spent. Which awesome. Exert, spent, great word. Banished, which is sent to a graveyard or a discard pile. You have Ward, which is a character with Ward can't be chosen by your opponent, such as when using a character's ability or using an action card.
Kind of.
Very cool.
It kind of seems like a defender mechanic type.
Agreed. Very much
And
so.
then
Rush.
Rush.
Yep.
I don't think we need to go into too much. It's pretty.
Nope.
It's already used
Self-explanatory.
in. It's already used in. You know, every card.
And I'm
So
not, and I don't think we really need to go too much in of like what these item cards are, what the like everything else. Yeah, there's
yeah.
stuff in this article about
So
is there D3 Expo?
an
Nah.
action card is an instant or sorcery. Got it. Item
Yep.
cards have
Easy.
abilities to gain mechanics. Okay, so I'm thinking
An item, an
an
attachment.
attachment in
Yep.
Yu-Gi-Oh. You know.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
um, it will have organized play. Obviously, it's Disney. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if their first major tournament is literally at a at a theme park, you know, because they have the ability to do that. Like,
I
mark my
love it.
words, it's gonna happen. I see it.
Well, and you scroll down a little bit more, it gives you kind of just like a brief sneak peek. If you haven't seen these expo cards or anything else, you can kind of take a quick look and kind
Don't
of shows
even
you their
look into
abilities and
them.
colors and stuff.
The prices are depressing, and I'm just being the voice of reason here, 'cause I do spend a good amount of money on shiny cardboard. Not even worth it, and the people that are hoarding these are going to regret it eventually. I'm just saying. No matter how popular the game
Correct.
gets, there's a market cap on everything, and with inflation in the world the way it is right now, they're not going to go up. So please don't empty out your 401k or
Well, and don't
um
buy into that because then it makes it worse for everybody else. If you're just like, no, I'm gonna spend that much money, you're just then setting the market
well
for that price.
well it's not even that. People have to think about it at a certain point, especially in the shiny cardboard market. you know,
But something so modern, dude.
well,
Something so new is
well,
what I'm saying. Not
uh,
something that's old you can't find
all
anymore.
well, I mean, all I'm saying is with stuff like this, 'cause it still is limited, right? Scarcity is a great business mechanic that's proven to work throughout, and it's stood the test of time. When you get to a certain point, spending so much money on cards, um, the only people you're gonna flip to is whales, and they'll never want to play that premium because they're looking to flip at the end of the day. So
That's why you need to
people,
make the product expensive.
right? I mean, the only card that I had thought about getting at the time that was reasonable was the Mickey Mouse card, because it was very cheap. When D23 happened, that card was roughly around $200. I say cheap because of obviously
It's
the
not
stare.
cheap. That is not cheap.
It's not cheap. I'm saying purely based on the scarcity and how limited these sets were. Because you have to remember, at D23 this year, every other booth, from what I had heard reported, was pretty much empty. Because there was just a line basically at the convention start every day to get these. And they only brought a limited amount. And there was obviously people doing crummy stuff like, getting friends to wait in line with them who had no care so they could get, 3, 5 sets. There was people doing one set. Like, I mean, imagine being a parent and you're bringing your kid and they're like, oh, these cards are really cool. You wait in line, pay $50 for this set of cards, and then some neck-bearded wizards walking up and offering you, 2K in cash for one of these. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Sorry, Johnny, I really wanted to get you these cards, but Daddy's got to pay rent, and this
I just
plane,
made 50. Yeah, I
and this
just made
plane,
1,500. Yeah,
yeah, and this
yeah.
plane ticket to LA wasn't cheap, but we'll get you
Correct.
a stuffed animal over there.
No, I mean, dude, it sucks because people are willing
You
to
know
pay
I'm
that
you
much
know I'm not
money.
wrong though. And people
No, dude, money, dude,
and what
money
I have to
talks,
say is
bro.
and what I have to say is anyone listening to this cardcast, if you're offended, be offended. Cause I'd say it to your face, cause that's exactly what happened. Cause I heard all the reports,
Yeah,
all the stuff that
yep.
people didn't want to talk about. It's 100% a real thing. There was people that brought cash, bought multiple sets. I mean, whaling. I've heard stories through this market that most people will never hear about
Dude, for a
people.
card game that's for kids.
There's people out there, whales, and this is confirmed, that have 50 plus sets of these that were
Jesus.
buying them outright on eBay, 2K here, 2K there, and that's how the market price got raised to 6K. With that being said, they did that so they can make their money back. The market cap will never hit higher than that because the whales set the market price, and all they're looking to do is flip. If you buy that 6K set, $6,000 like some of the article from one of these whales, you will never see that money back because the average person or even the average collector doesn't care. Because here's the thing: is it a cool novelty item? Yes, but it's not that cool. These are all the same cards you're going to be able to get.
It
Excuse me.
just has a stamp. It just has a stamp, dude.
Exactly. And if you can look past that little caveat, which sure it's cool, it's novel. To me, it doesn't seem as cool if you weren't there. Like if I even knew,
That's
I didn't
no,
even.
that's the thing, man. That is the thing right there, bro. It's not as special. It will never be as special if you weren't there
Right.
getting the
If you were
cards.
there and waited in line, it would mean infinitely more to you than whatever you can write
Correct.
in a checkbook. And there's probably some whale that may watch this that's gonna laugh and be like, haha, money rules the
You're gonna say
world.
That Mickey to me, even though the same artwork is coming out, this Mickey with this stamp that nobody else can get in a mile of 2 miles, 10 miles, 100 miles of my that means so much to me. And it's like, you know what, great, good for you. But for those that are just trying to get him and trying to make so much money off of him, yeah, dude. I can't believe it. And look, again, this is for kids. Do I love it? Am I an adult? Yes. Do I love collecting trading cards? Yes. Am I going to? Yes. But that doesn't mean I am also going to flip this for an insane amount or I'm going to hoard this. I
Right.
do also have a kid. I do want my kid to experience opening this up. She is way too young to experience this. Do I maybe want to keep a box or two sealed and then maybe when she gets old enough, crack one with her? Yes, I do. Will it be worth so much more money then? And will that be kind of a nail biting situation? Yeah, but I do want her to experience opening up trading cards like myself.
Right.
And why not do it with the base set, nostalgia, all that? I can't do that though, man, if it's going to cost me an arm and a leg for a booster box.
Right. And by the time she's old enough, or mine are old enough, we'll hopefully figure out the market if Lorcana lasts, which I think it should, or else it was extremely a mismanaged product. But I just hope that it does fit itself faster. The biggest thing that I'll say for them that'll make it work and make it better and cheaper for people is printing. So with the first set, in my personal opinion, what I've seen with a lot of card games, I don't think they're going to print the first set enough. With that being said, I think those printers are going to be putting in overtime for the second set and every set following because they're going to see that, hey, people want it. And it's something that I was talking about with some friends if you think about it, MTG, as much as people just want it to die, as much as people hate it, what is the one issue they don't have? And I'll let you know what that is if you can't
What is
figure it
that?
out.
What, loyalty?
No,
Because they have some devout fans, my
no.
friend. I mean,
Availability.
they have, yeah, they avail
Availability.
in money. They have money still, dude. They're
No,
not.
but so do other companies. Bandai has plenty of money. They sell so much. They sell
I mean,
little
dude,
PVC figures
they're
for
owned by
a
Hasbro. Hasbro, dude.
okay, and Bandai has a ton of money too, man. You're talking about multi-franchised out video
No, no,
games,
no.
figures,
I'm not
toys.
saying they don't, but come on, dude.
I'm
Like
saying
Magic
that
the Gathering has all the means to do what they need to do.
correct, and there's never a shortage of product. Like, okay, sure there is with some of the specialties, but I'm saying like sets, like to play the game, it's always there. All these other games are having that issue. Except for Pokemon, there's enough cards to play. People haven't can play. There's just not enough of like the alternate arts that people want, but that's understandable.
Well,
But with
with
that being
Disney, you have
said,
to think about: are they going to give Ravensburger a lot of money? Are they? What's
I
the
think
budget
I
for this
think I
project?
think when I think if I was Disney, I think if Ravensburger sells out of their product like they do, I think what they Ravensburger was probably worried about is having, and this is all speculation, a abundance of product that couldn't move. Which, but in all fairness, I think all of it was gonna move no matter how much they printed. But with that being said, I think they were
They
trying to
could
be,
print so much.
but
They could print so much,
right.
dude.
But what I'm thinking is they probably wanted to print enough to turn a good profit over to
And sell out.
Disney, right, and sell out and say, hey, look, people like this, and then that's how you get them on board. So in the future, if another set they do have a slight excess, which I'm sure will go very quick through distros, but in the odd chance that there is excess, they can justify it and say, well, we'll do better
I mean,
next quarter. You know what I mean?
I do think Disney. I agree on some aspect. I do think Disney has already kind of given them the full gung ho on it. I do think they're like, hey, you guys, this is going to be big if we do it correctly. You guys just need to make sure it's on the right track. And I don't
Correct.
think Ravensburger's going to disappoint, man.
No, I don't think they will. I'm just saying I don't be shocked if it is short printed because you've seen that. But like, and here's my thing too is you also think
Very
with Disney.
beginning, yes. Very beginning, yes. But there
Yes,
will be a reprint. You know that. You
I
know there'll be a
I hope
reprint
so.
of first chapter, man. Unless what we just read, and they said there's going to be 4 expansions to the first chapter. They may not. They may do a one-time drop of the first chapter, and then they only do expansions for the rest of the year, and then go to chapter 2.
Right.
I just don't see that happening if they're trying to actually make this a playable thing. If it was a CCG, sure. But this is a TCG. This is an actual game with mechanics, and people need to play this. And they already said something about tournaments, live tournaments up there in the article. We didn't really touch base about it because we're trying to get to other subjects here in a second. But, dude, it is a playable thing, and these cards have actual artists who people love that. People want different artists that are actually making these artworks, and they're giving it to you. They're showing you on
Right.
the card work. Like, this is at Disney Expo. Like, I think this is a very huge thing for Disney, and I wouldn't also be surprised if they take this into their media, into their shows, into all of this, because they did say it's not just in their trading cards. It's in their social media. It's in all these other
Right.
things, all their other products. So, I
Which
mean,
is
I
which is
do think
smart.
this is
Which is smart.
big.
Yeah.
Which means I don't know how you can short print something like that, man.
Well, I
Am I
think
right though? Are you right? I do think you're right, and I do think they want to sell out, and I think they're gonna. But why short print, man?
I think because like anything, it's a different market, and they know that something that governs the TCG market heavily
Is
is
collectability.
collectability, and with collectability, you have to have scarcity. So it's a double-edged sword. Do I think they want enough out there to make, um, you know, make it so tournaments to happen? Yes, but do I also think that in the back of their mind they're like, well, we need to make it somewhat scarce, or if it's everywhere, people could get, you know, tired of it, and they're like, oh, it's everywhere. Because, while that still opens a big market for players, you still need whales to buy in. It sucks. I hate whales, but they're to an extent a necessary evil because they do.
I think we're thinking too much like Weiss Schwarz, Pokemon, and things like that. I think this is a big enough company. I think this is a big enough market. I think there's too many fans that aren't even trading card fans that are still going to want this product. Which means I don't think for this particular trading card brand, this company, this side of Disney, I don't think they need whales. Do I think every other trading card game does, absolutely, I agree with you. But I have to say, if there was no whales and they just released the same amount they were going to release without whales, I think they would still sell out of the product.
I
Because it's Disney, man. It's because it's Disney.
I agree with you, but the only thing I want you to try to think about, and I'm not trying to be argumentative,
Oh,
with
I would
your
love
money
it
on
if you
the.
did. I love it. Let's get it.
I
No, I'm just
hate,
kidding.
I hate,
I'm just kidding.
I hate you. I'm quitting this Cardcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
No, my
gosh.
thing is even MTG has whales. Like as crazy as that sounds, there's whales, and they take hits. It's just they take more hits because there's so many products that are released.
And I know
Um,
there's going to be whales. I know there will be. 100%. I just don't think they're
well,
a
there already
necessity
is.
for them. Yeah, I know. They're
Nah,
already buying.
I mean
They're
it's
already
the same
buying.
thing with Pokemon. I'm just saying. Uh,
Oh,
I just think it's one of those things that it's an
it's always going to be there, guys. It'll always be there unless you have the money or the business or the means, the ins, the connections. It's not going to be good for the regular collector, the regular player, all that stuff. I am going to try to play this game. I'm going to try to learn it. I'm going to try to be good at it. So then when my daughter can play it, bing, bang, boom, we're going to try to go hard. And that's if she's even interested, guys. Who knows? But it's very hard not to like Disney. And everybody in my family and then also my wife's family, we love games. So I think it'll be in her blood. But that being said, we're going to move on a little bit from Lorcana. I'm going to let Matt take over a little bit more, and we're going to talk a little bit about some prices on some trading card games.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate that. And I mean, honestly, I just hope everyone can get product. I know that's being optimistic. I like being optimistic though, to
I'm
an
hopeful.
extent, despite my gripes you just heard. But I do think eventually it'll correct itself, and we'll get some good organized play. And I think it'd be amazing. Imagine like I just want to talk a little bit about more organized play and the possibilities. Just think about when I think about organized play with them. Think about like Disney, the wide world of sports. They hold major sporting events. So just imagine that on a TCG level, and you're just talking about like a really beautiful thing. Imagine playing Lorcana, and then you get crowned as a winner. Hypothetically, hopefully not literally. That'd be a little excessive. But at the Disney
Well,
castle, and fireworks and stuff, it'd be
dude,
nuts.
that would be so sick if it got played. The finals got played in the Disney Castle and they crowned. I mean, look, it already says Lorcana has a full organized play scheme. Plus, they say complete with tournaments and in-store events. Further details will be revealed closer to the
Right.
game's launch, which is soon.
And what I'm hoping is, and LGSs haven't heard about it yet, but what I'm hoping about, at least to my knowledge, they haven't heard about it. What I'm hoping is that there's like good prize support slash like participation, like that stuff that can fuel a card game a lot.
Oh, absolutely, 100% it can, and I think that's something that we will see if people can get their hands on it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they'll have the capability. I mean, I'm
That's why I
sure
think a
there's already
reprint will be coming, dude, because they're
for
gonna do
sure.
what you said and they're gonna sell out. They're gonna analyze and before the first expansion releases, there'll be another, or who knows, maybe they'll release the reprint really close to or at the same time as their expansion. We'll see. We'll see,
Right.
guys. We're just super excited about Lorcana. We're going to keep everybody updated as best we can. I'm going to keep posting about it, and I know Matt is super excited with me, which makes it that much better.
I'm very excited, and we talked a lot about Lorcana. I love that, so I'll try and keep this short. But just a little market review, we'll
Update.
call it. I'll call it
Ooh, market
review.
review.
Everyone
I
does
like that.
market updates or market watches. I don't want you to watch it. I just want you to notice some interesting trends that I'm seeing uh,
Let's
in
get it.
games that you don't always look at. So, Dragon Ball Super. The only reason why I want to talk about this again, super interesting. As we all know, it isn't the most popular CCG, but hey, at least they're calling it a CCG now, because everyone knows. And if you know anything about Dragon Ball, people only care about the secret rares.
Yeah,
But with
which
that,
is sad because all their other cards are so beautiful. For
it
something to have
it
such
is.
beautiful rares and commons, man, they trash on them. It's not like Pokemon where you get a regular holo and you're like, oh, that's crap because now they make such beautiful cards. Dude, all of the cards are really sick cards.
Right. Well, here's the crazy thing. So just a quick like the first 6 items up here. Power Absorb collector boxes. Um, were about 350 in shops about a week ago. Now they're
Oh my
averaging five
goodness.
to 600. Um, Golden Cooler, that market price of like 550 is pretty accurate. And then Android 21 alternate is selling for about 1020. The one that I think is very interesting that I think we're going to see fluctuate the most and essentially end up higher than potentially all the other ones. And you can call me crazy, all the Dragon Ball Legends, and be like, you're crazy. That you are number one alternate art. And it's not just because I pulled it, but this is my belief. The only sales I've been able to find are 3 on here. So 2 for 275, 1 for 250. The only other one was on eBay, where someone listed it at 499 or buy it now. Someone bought it out at 500. Sun Goku, I've followed a couple auctions on eBay. It's been anywhere between 2 to 3K. Just an
Which is
insane sell.
nuts.
The
That's
cra-
in. That's nuts.
the craziest thing that I've seen is someone posted the other day that they bought one collector bots and they actually pulled the golden cooler alt art and the Android 21 Ultra art from the same bots. And I said, you are,
No,
yep. And
no.
in my opinion, that's better luck than pulling the ghost rare. That's like
Oh,
insane.
100, dude. That is bonkers, dude. That is really really cool. By the way, your number one alternate art.
I think
I
it's a sick
I
card. I love
I
it.
love it. And do you notice how this is like one of the only cards that is out of stock still? And I will also
That's
note
what I'm
that
saying. For everyone that
our
everyone that bashed it
y-
for hating it, no
yep.
one's selling it. So you tell me.
Exactly. And look, last time we had our podcast, the Sun Goku card wasn't even on TCG Player,
Right. I love that
which
you
is
brought up the
just
your number
crazy.
one alternate though, because if you look at your number one, the regular one, cheapest SCR, no one's selling it.
Yep. No one.
Alternate art, or everyone's selling it.
But
Alternate art,
not
no
the
one
all
is.
Nope.
Oh, it's so
Nope.
lazy. They put Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I'm sorry, this is a huge homage to the Buu saga, which is arguably the best saga that
It
Dragon
is the
Ball's ever
best
done.
saga. Yes.
I love my androids. That's what I say. I love the android saga and the Cell saga, but the Buu saga definitely is like
I
top
mean, that's
tier.
close range.
It's
That's
top
close
tier.
range. And
It's
then,
like
yeah.
those three is like to me top tier. DBZ, Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball. Lore. Um, but I just think it's funny that it got the most hate. Is like this will be the cheapest one, but like me as like a person who grew up watching Dragon Ball, 21, don't really care. People say it's waifu material. I don't get it. It's a purple. It's Barney, but ripped. Um, golden cooler. It's cooler, sure. And the artwork isn't that phenomenal, but dude, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku doing a Kamehameha behind Vegeta when he's beat down, like, come on. That's like classic canon.
But that card in person, the pictures, my friends, do not do this card any justice.
It doesn't. The
You
whole
get
Kamehameha is gold. It's
is
just sick.
amazing. It
Yeah.
looks incredible. So you get this card in hand, you instantly stop hating.
Hmm.
I
And I
can't
think
believe
that's what
this
happened.
Ghost Rare is this much, man. This is so crazy.
But that's just people pipe dreaming. It's a 2 to 3K card, you know.
I mean, it
Um,
is. And no, even if it is a 2K card, man, I can't believe there's a set from Dragon Ball Super with a 2K card, basically an $1,100 card, $550 card, and then your
another
card basically
500.
sold for 500. Dude, that is ridiculous. And then you go to the price of the sealed products, dude. I mean, golly, man, this is a stacked product. I thought Tournament of Power
Yeah.
was an insane product. No, 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 no. This would probably be their biggest set they've ever released.
What will be interesting to the prices of these cards that you go one of two ways, and this will be my last point on it, because I don't want to dwell too much on it because it's all speculation. But if they do more collector boosters after this and there's cooler sets, I could see a drop. But there's also that, uh, you know, air in the room, if you would. I don't really know what analogy I was going for, but there's still that lingering air in the room where it's like, well, this is still the first set with a ghost rare, so that's obviously
But
gonna
that's
keep
going to
the,
make it the
it's gonna,
most rare.
right, it's gonna keep sealed prices up, is what I'm saying. As far as
Yes.
singles, it's
If they ever do it again, will they ever do this again? And if they do, how long?
right.
Do you think they're going
Well,
to
and
create?
Bandai definitely like did a good executed it in a well way where they protected themselves because everything Bandai does we already know is rather short printed, but this was extremely short printed where like LGS has only got this on a lottery system. Like my LGS got 3 boxes. That's it. That's it. You know?
Yeah,
And
that's
that
yeah.
was through a lottery system. They could have gotten none.
My
They don't even normally carry Dragon Ball products. They haven't carried Dragon Ball products in years. But this
mine
rare
didn't
was
even get
like
it.
right, exactly.
Mine didn't even get it, and they carry Dragon Ball Super product all the time. They have
Correct.
every single modern set right now.
It
Do
was
they
awesome.
sometimes get it a month or two later than some other stores? Sure. They didn't even get this product.
Exactly. It was all in a lottery system, and it's because my shop is very heavy in other Bandai products, just not Dragon Ball. So
Oh
One
my
Piece and
goodness.
Digimon, my shop is huge on Digimon. So
Well, we're gonna move on to something else I think Matt and I are kind of passionate about, but for a weird reason.
what? Battle Spirits?
This is gonna be battle spirits,
I'm not
absolutely.
I'm not passionate about Battle Spirits. I will
No, we're
bash Battle
passionate.
Spirits.
Yes, we're passionate about bashing battle spirits because we do think that the I don't know Bandai man. What are they
I'll break
doing?
it down cordially. So I think Bandai did a horrible execution of this game, and this is my personal opinion. While I do see people saying there's good things about the gameplay, here's my thoughts. They're releasing this in sync with One Piece, Digimon sets, and now in Japan Union Arena, which cross our fingers gets announced in English in a couple months. If not, I'll be upset that I didn't buy any, but I can live without it. It's cool. I can't translate that well. I haven't used my Rosetta Stone recently. But Battle Spirits, I think they're pushing it very hard, and that's evident because I get all these ads on my Instagram a lot about, oh, cash payout tournaments. Like, here's my thing. This is what I thought Bandai thought. They're like, hey, what if we release our own game with our own lore, with our own IPs that we own under our Bandai umbrella, um, which is Battle Spirits, and we use it to compete against MTG. Uh, Too late, no cigar, in my opinion, because Lorcana, I think, has the best shot at coming for the MTG throne. I'm just being honest. If a game's gonna do it, it's gonna be Lorcana. This is my humble opinion. You can hate it or love it. I'm indifferent. I'm just telling you how I feel. Um, I think
Lorcana will reign supreme, my friend. People do not believe us, or they do believe us. I don't care, bro.
MTG is gonna be around, but Lorcana's gonna do good. But what I'm getting at about Battle Spirits is they're
Yes.
trying very hard. This first set, what I will say is cool, is there's people clearly buying stuff. There's market prices on cards, so it could go up depending on how short printed this is. Or what could really make everyone in the Bandai community mad is they printed Battle Spirits the most as their own thing. Now I will say from what I've heard about set 2, it's gonna include Gundam, so I could see it getting some collectability value, but I just don't see people playing it. Keep in mind, I just said that my shop is huge into Bandai, right? Pokemon, MTG, well, MTG, then Pokemon, then Bandai. Um, my shop is at cases of every Digimon set, what they can of One Piece, because obviously everyone gets short-handed from the distro level, and then now Battle Spirits, then they're not excited about Battle Spirits, and I don't blame them because here's the thing. As an LGS owner, the more stuff you release from the same company and introduce it into your store, you pull from that, right? So, you know me, I was an avid Digimon player. One Piece came out, I kind of took the reins back and I said, well, if I'm going to play a standard version of one game, I can only pick one because it's not financially responsible to go for
Yep.
both of them. So I chose
Hmm.
One Piece over Digimon, which stinks because I really like Digimon. I still play it sometimes.
I
I just
think
want
what
to
they're
take the One
doing, though,
Piece
my
route.
friend, is I think they're trying to grab people from the market that haven't come over to Bandai. You have because you are a Digimon fan and a One Piece fan. I think this is trying to grab some Magic the Gathering fans and convert them over for MTG's lack of caring and their lack of support to the community. I think
True,
this is
but are the
trying to
cards
reach
even
other
that
people.
cool? Do the
No,
cards
no,
even
no,
look
no,
that
no.
good?
I agree with you. I'm not a fan of this, right? You're not going to convert me over to this because you're right. There's too much for me to buy, but I don't think they're necessarily thinking that way. I don't think they're, and not a lot of other people are thinking that as well. I just think they're not going to buy it in general. I don't think it's also they're not going to buy it because One Piece and Digimon is out. I do think that is thinning your your ingredients, man. You're not allowing your main things to enrich your
Right.
brand.
Like
You're
look
not
at this
letting One
solder.
Piece and Digimon,
Right.
man.
Right. Look at this solder card. That's supposedly the biggest hit from the set. It doesn't even look cool. Like I don't even know what's going on. There's a
Dude,
dragon.
it's 149, man. What did we just go over and see their other product, Bandai's other product, Dragon Ball Super. Bam, so much more money.
Yeah,
Enrich that.
it's it's
Keep
it's
working on
it's not
that.
about the money. I mean, Dragon Ball's always gonna have
Well,
whales in
because
its
of the
name.
anime,
But I'm saying if it's a
absolutely.
playable game, I'm not upset about it. The card being 150. I'm saying like, what are
But
you
this doesn't
actually?
have a lot of lore.
What are you getting? I mean, and I get it. They have to build the lore, but what I'm getting at is like, the card doesn't look that sweet for it to be the big hit. Like that's the solder rare. Like that's what you're presenting as your product, and is what we get. Supernova
Yeah,
Dragon,
the
Siege
profile
Land
is horrible
Nova.
though.
Like,
It's horrible.
okay, it's a dragon. I see some other
There's another
stuff
dragon.
over.
There's another dragon, Inferno King, Cursed Dragon. Like,
Yeah, let's move on from
it's
battle
just
spirits. I'm just getting depressed.
okay,
The
cool.
last thing. I'm sorry, but the last thing is my Weiss fans. People
Yeah,
bash
yeah.
reprints, but the market does not lie. And I'll tell you what surprised me the most. And I told my friends in the community,
You said it, dude. You
buy
said it.
buy the second edition of the Nazareth Tomb of the Undead uh, trial bets. And now you're looking at it. 1149. Less than 2 months ago, you
That's
were able to
crazy,
order this
dude.
from multiple sites for 700, a little over with tats and shipping, right? And you get your guaranteed Albedo SP and your Irons. Actually, sorry, that's the booster bot's case, but the price is about the same. If you go to trial debts, where's the trial debts? It's killing me. But anyways,
Okay.
trial debts, right? Uh, this is a trial debt plus display. You're seeing them at 324, but that's also like for the old ones.
Yeah,
With that being
yeah,
said,
it is.
for the new second edition, it is still selling on average in Facebook groups and on Whatnot, and I know Whatnot scalpers, but even the good people on Whatnot that sell Weiss, $1,200. That's the price. And the big reason why you're seeing that is because it turns out this deck is highly playable and it still has meta value. The issue is, um,
Well,
what's it called?
the silver sig. Oh my God, silver sig, dude. It's still 1050, man. Like, come
Oh,
on.
you're talking about Albedo?
Yeah, dude. That's crazy, man.
Well,
Even for a reprint.
well, I want to know what the trial deck one looks like.
Dude, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I don't care if it's a gold or silver sig. It's about if I got to even open any of
So,
it, or if I got to even get my hands on it. I love
so,
reprints if it's just one time.
So an interesting thing, if you type in Albedo under Weiss Schwarz, you see Endless Devotion, right? That's the SP everyone wants from the trial deck.
Hmm.
It's gold, Sid, 2K. That card's generally been around 5K, so it did get lowered, so I can see why people are mad. But the silver Sid is probably gonna cost you the bulk of that case. I mean,
Correct, correct.
I wouldn't be
Yes.
surprised if that reprint of the silver paid for my case, if not almost all the case of what
I
I
mean,
just
dude,
bought the trial deck
that's
case.
why you can't be a snob, man. You can't be a snob in this market. They need to make their money and they want to reach more people than just you. Yes, we are all collectors. Okay, we all want to have something that's very unique or one of whatever. But when it comes to trading cards and things that are playable, like Matt had said, this is highly playable. You gotta reprint it at least once.
Look at this. So literally, uh, only two on eBay. Signed Weiss Schwarz Endless Devotion Albedo, uh, Silver Sid. Two English ones on eBay. One's 1088, one's 1200. Pays for
See?
a case and a
Done.
half. Right. It was
And
a no
dude,
brainer.
and it's not even like the reprint had a gold sig and they're mad because they did a gold sig again. They changed the sig color for you guys. Like, I think this is beautiful. I think this is, you said it, you called it, man. You told people, listen, do not sleep on the reprint of this. If you didn't get your hands on it, do not think it's going to be super cheap. It's going to be very expensive once it gets released and once it's out there and done.
Right. I mean, I just had a feeling about it. I was like, it sold so good when it did and was extremely short printed. There is no sales yet, is what it appears on eBay, but I guarantee this card will, if people are listing it at more than what a case is valued, wait till the first one sells for what a case should sell for, and that'll set the price, and that card pays for your whole case.
Well, and if that's the case for you, then you can go ahead and sell that and then buy me that Aura Beast Tamer card because that is a super sick card.
Well,
No, I'm
but
just
that
kidding.
being
But hey,
said, my
dude,
friends, this was a
yes.
quite long episode. I love it though. 54 minutes, not bad. I had a blast talking about Lorcana because I think it's something that's gonna be crazy. It's like kind of mind-boggling how much weight I think is going to put in the TCG market. With that being said, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with a lot of TCGs. My best opinion as a friend to you all is I wouldn't invest in Battle Spirits. I know people still probably are. Some people are probably like, well, it's really cool. That kind of goes to what I talked about with the whole oversaturation of the market. If you're going to get into Bandai, go for Digimon or One Piece. I think there's a lot more merit to it. And from what I've seen from the Bandai video about how to play Battle Spirits, it doesn't seem that exciting or as
Not
fun.
that fun. It's not. It's
And it
not, dude.
just doesn't excite me. But with that with that also being said, I know I say that a lot, it's like my filler word. Um, Look out for Weiss Schwarz reprints, because I'm telling you, like, I did the market was a little shaky and they weren't excited about them before, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding, and people didn't say, oh, well, Overlord has a lot of fan service. Yes, it does. People love Albedo. I get that. Not every set's gonna have the silver set of Albedo being a $1,100 card, and the Shrouded SP also being comparable to that, or half the value of the golds is what we're seeing. But that's still value, and more importantly, you're getting the cards that you may have wanted and missed out on now that you're getting into this hobby. So I think it's definitely nothing to sleep on or bad night. Especially the most important thing about Weiss is like buying the IPs you like. What I love about Weiss is like it's not like Pokemon where every set's a Pokemon card or every set's Yu-Gi-Oh. Like every set's a different anime. Like
It's a theme.
there's so
Yeah,
many Weiss
exactly.
sets that I literally let pass by because I'm just like I'm good.
Yep.
But so just something to
Yep.
think about. But I hope you all have a great week. I can't wait to get this episode up, and best of luck hunting Starlit and Violet as it releases literally in 2 days. And
We'll
I'm
be talking
excited.
about it
We
very
will be.
soon.
I'm excited. I've seen a lot of people talk about how insane the pull rates are, and what I want to say is you're gonna see a lot of clutter in the market of like, especially YouTube, where there's just all these content creators talking about, oh, the pull rates are so much better. Everyone, just think about numbers, right? You have more slots for pull rates. Like every set moving forward now, because of the price increase, is going to have pull rates light specialty sets. So of course it is. And I think the best way to paint it, and I'll leave it on this, is it's going to be awesome to see sets where there's not a $500 card, but five $100 cards. So take it if you
Correct.
want. I think that's awesome. Maybe you don't, but hey, I like the idea of being able to get my card at the card that I want or my chaser at a more affordable price.
But still valuable.
Right. And just so y'all know, they just put up on PokemonCenter.com earlier this week. I'm gonna pull it up really quick just so you can see it. The Nets set is already up. Paldea, Evolved, or Paldea. Some people said it like that. I say Paldea, whatever. But these ETBs look
I already did a pre-order, my friend.
same. These ETBs like look
Look
epic. I
insane.
love all three of the starters, and if you've seen anything about what they've done with the first set of or base set Scarlet and Violet, as far as the way the ETB looks, there's like gold embezzled in it. It just looks sick. It looks
It's
good. And
upgraded for sure.
yeah,
Upgrade for
it
sure.
feels like a super premium product. And I'll tell you the biggest thing, and I hate to be that guy, we are done to get promos in every ETB now, but if look at this promo and tell me that this isn't gonna be the future like
I
favorite.
can't
Like
wait.
I already feel like I
It
already
is.
feel like
I want
Paldea
it.
evolved. Yeah, I mean, so
I want
a
it.
little backstory for anyone who doesn't know, the only place where you did this in Japan was if you did the dual pad pre-order of Starlight and Violet. Everyone was wondering when it was going to show up in English. You're seeing it. So it will be a mass printed thing in the extent of however many ETBs they make. But keep in mind, if you pre-order through Pokemon Center, you did the Pokemon Center stamped one. So I'm sure that you'll see a price difference. But at the end of the day, all I care about is being able to get the sweet promo. I mean, it's awesome.
That's
Of
what I
course,
want.
Pikachu's
100%.
featured in it, but if it was just the other three, I'd be happier.
It's
And of
my
course, it's
guy.
Pikachu.
Come on,
You know,
Pikachu,
you know,
baby.
you
That's my number one.
I know it's not mine, but if you'd think after 25 years they could have picked something else. Not saying Eevee should have been the main, but
I
like
agree. No, I agree. I agree. I love my Pikachu, but it should have been something else. Should have been one of the starters or all three of the starters, and that's it. Done.
either way, Pikachu does kind of complete it with the whole.
No, just do the three starters and be done with it. But yes, I love
I think it's
Pikachu.
cool
I'm
when they
gonna
tie
love
them
it.
adventuring together. It's a cool concept. I liked it. I also
Oh, I'm gonna
like
take it.
the tokens that they did for Starland Violet are set too. Just saying on the little picture under. But anyways, that's enough for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us again this week, and we can't wait for next week and to see what new develops. Because right now there's just so much it's making my head spin.
Same, dude.
But y'all have a great night and take care, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Appreciate it, guys. Later.